Okay, so let's take a look at how you can install and set up Flutter on Windows. So if we go to flutter.dev, we can move to get started section and choose Windows. Now here we get the instruction on what things we need for setting it up. So first thing is downloading this Flutter Windows zip, right? So I have already downloaded that. Now next thing is downloading Dart. So if we go to get Dart and then choose for Windows, right, there are multiple options. We can also download the zip in case of Windows, right? So we have this Dart, also Flutter, and third thing is Android Studio, right? So we will go through this one by one. So first, setting up Dart and Flutter, right? So I have extracted Dart, and then as you can see there is a bin directory. Simply copy this address as text. Next, go to your search, check for environment variables, then go to environment variables, then go to path, right? So path, then edit this, then scroll, and here you see d.dart bin. Save this, then click OK, right? Then click OK, and let's keep it as is for now because we have to also set up the Flutter. So let's go ahead and go to the directory where we have extracted Flutter, right? So here, as you can see, Flutter bin needs to be in path as well, right? So Flutter bin, copy address as text. Let's go to environment variables, then path again, create new path, Flutter bin, click OK, again OK, close everything out. Now we can verify whether we have Flutter or not, right? So we can open our terminal, and here let's first type in dart / version, and as you can see we have Dart within our path as well. So let's see if we can access Flutter, and if we type in Flutter and then enter, then we can see list of options within command prompt. It will also show you welcome to Flutter, and it all. Now we also have to download this Android Studio, and make sure that we download at least one SDK image and command line utilities in order for running our Flutter apps through Android Studio. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will try to install Android Studio and also install SDK and other necessary packages so that we can run Android app on our system. Along with that, we will also install Flutter plugin. So make sure to go to Android Studio and then download the Android Studio executable, right? So once you do that, double click on it. Now it should start the setup. So just go ahead and click next, then check Android Studio and Android virtual device. Click next, then it should show you the default path. Okay, if you want to go with that, you can do so, or you can change to any other directory. Click next, then install. So this should install your Android Studio. Right, now click next, now click finish. That should open Android Studio. Now currently we don't have any import settings, so click OK. Now as you can see, if you want to share the data, you can choose send usage statistic to Google or click don't send. Now this wizard will help you set up your development environment. So click next. Now here you can see it allows you to choose standard or custom options. So let's go with custom. Click next. Right, you have your path for GRE, right? So the current one, you can go with that, or if you have any custom, you can go with that. Click next. Now you can choose the theme. let's go with the light theme. Click next. Right, now comes the API part. We already have virtual device installed, then hacks, then API 32 115 MB and Android SDK. Right, so you can simply check the default, right? And as you can see, this is the SDK location. Make sure to remember this, or you can access that later through your settings. Click next. Now how much RAM you want to give, right? So there is accelerated performance mode option. You can allocate additional RAM if you want, so just give 2 GB by default. Right, so everything is ready, and click next for further installation. So keep on accepting the option, right? Now click finish, so that all of this will be installed and you are ready to go. As you can see here, there are SDK tools, platform, build tools, and your API. Click finish. Now as you can see, all the components are downloaded, and now you can click on finish, and as you can see, this should open Android Studio for you. Now here you can see you have option to create new project, open, and also get more actions, right? So here you can see there is SDK manager, and currently we have one SDK which is API 32 installed, right? So now what we'll need to do is we will have to get back and download few plugins, right? So here for our Flutter, you will have to search for this Flutter plugin and click install, then accept the agreement, install. So it should install both Flutter and Dart for this particular ID, right? If you have any other options available for your, right, so there doesn't seem to be anything else that I wish to download for now. So what I will do is I will just restart the ID. Now here you see within plugin we have Flutter installed, and we also have, let's check whether we have Dart installed as well. So just type in Dart, and that Dart is also installed, right? Now when we are creating a new Flutter project, we can simply use new Flutter project from within Android Studio. Otherwise it also goes to new project for Kotlin. So for Flutter developers, we now have option through Android Studio. So when you click on it, it should open new project option that looks something like this, right? So here you just have to give the Flutter path and proceed. So we'll take a look at that path later. So for now, we have managed to download Android Studio, set up Flutter plugin for this installation. Now one more thing that we are left to do is checking Android licenses in Flutter. So for that we go to check that command, Flutter doctor, then / Android licenses, copy that, and then what you can do is open your command prompt, then paste it here, right? And then simply let it work. So as you can see, it will check for all those licenses. If they are accepted previously, like I have done, then it should show a message like this: all SDK package licenses accepted, right? Now you are good to go for checking Flutter doctor once again without this Android licenses parameter. Now few things we need to do is we have to run Flutter doctor, right? Now this Flutter doctor will find out some of the things that we need on our system for creating and running Flutter projects, right? So when we run this Flutter doctor, it should check what are some of the things that we need or are not available? So first thing, we already have Flutter setup, we already installed Android Studio, right? Then we have Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio Build Tools 2019. So this is something you should have. Okay, you can Google it, and I also covered it in previous some of the videos, right? So the thing is, you need Chrome as well. So if you have Edge or Firefox, that won't do. Flutter will force you to download the Chrome. So I have this installer and I have already installed Chrome, so it has detected that and validated. So Android toolchain, this comes in when you install an SDK, whenever you run that Android installer, right? Then there is one more thing, which is installing the drivers. WebDriver, USB driver needs to be installed within your Android Studio so that it can have those detected. Then HTTP host availability is something that will be checked, right? So all of these needs to be properly handled, and then the green checks will be there, right? One more thing is, make sure that you go to environment variables, and within that your Java home should have the path to JDK, and make sure that you don't have to point to the bin. Often what happens that when you point to the bin directory, it doesn't work with some of the programs like this Flutter or few others, right? So this is one thing you have to do in order to set up your Flutter properly. Now the next thing we will do is we will open Android Studio and create one Flutter project. Because everything is ready, we can now create our first new project in Flutter. Okay, now let's take a look at how you can set up VS Code for Flutter. So if you have downloaded and installed Visual Studio Code, what you can do is go to View and then Command Palette. Right here, what we're going to do is we're going to check for extension, right? And then here we have to install extensions. So we'll specifically check for that command, extension, install extension, and now it should show you the option to search, right? So select Flutter. Within search you will find option for that, and there is official Flutter plugin, right? If you see this specifically publisher verified icon, you can go ahead and install that. Similarly, you can also have Dart plugin if there is any. Once installed, it should show you the change in status here, right? As you can see, disable, uninstall, right? Now let's also see Dart. So there is also Dart plugin. Select that, it's already installed for us, right? Now what we can do is we can validate the setup by going to View, Command Palette, and then here we type in Flutter Doctor, right? So basically it is run Flutter Doctor. Click on that, right? What it will do is it will check for all the necessary requirement, right? It will ask you, would you like to use recommended VS Code settings? You can say yes. As you can see, all the criteria that we already checked is satisfying. No issues found will come, right? And then we are pretty much set up with Visual Studio Code and Flutter. Okay, now next thing we are going to do is we are going to open Android virtual device, which is virtual device manager, right? Now we are going to create a device, so whenever we test the code, it should appear within this device. So create a device. It should open a widget for you, right? So let's choose a phone, right? So depending on your choice, you can choose the latest one or the older one, right? So let's go with Pixel 5. If you have any other choice of phone, you can choose it from here. So let's go with Pixel 5, then click next. You can also check the profile and also add new. Also, if you are making for something else like TV or Wear OS tablet, you can change that. Click next. Right here you can choose to use an image. So let's say currently we have API 32 and there is also tiramisu that is coming, right? So we choose this API 32, right? If you want, go with tiramisu, but for now let's go with the one the closest, right? So it should start the component installer and it will download the image. Now that the image is installed, you can click on finish and you have your system image selected here. Now next thing, click on next. Okay, you can name your device, right, or keep the default, right? Also you can change the portrait or landscape mode if you want, right? And rest of the settings, if you want to change, you can do so by clicking on show advanced settings, right? You can keep the RAM. Let's go with 2 GB or RAM at least, right? So we have set RAM as well. Finally we will click on finish, right? And here see, you have your virtual device created. So next time when you run your Flutter code or Android or Kotlin code, you can execute this device. Now that we have installed Flutter, we can create new project. So there are two methods with which we can create new project for Flutter. One being, we can go to view and here we call command palette, then we type in Flutter, then new project. Okay, that should also create a new project for you. Another option is you open command prompt in the directory where you want to create this particular Flutter project, right? And then type in Flutter, then create, and let's see name of my project, create, and then let's see my demo, or you can go with my demo as well, right? So that camel case you can watch out for. Best idea, go lowercase. Okay, it will download all the necessary packages and then it will tell you that you need to cd to my demo and then simply run your Flutter project. So let's go there, my demo, right? Now here we type in Flutter run. Now it should choose your devices. So as you can see, you have option for Windows, Chrome, Edge as web device, right? So in order to run this on virtual Android, we will make use of our Visual Studio Code. But for now, we can, let's say, choose Windows as target. If you want, you can simply go with Chrome. If you have Chrome installed, simply choose second. So it should wait for that particular Chrome service. Now as you can see, it opened the instance of Chrome to open one of the Flutter demo for this Chrome on localhost 51545. Now if I press this increment button, it should change the text here, right? Now you can close this and you can try out other devices if you want. So say Flutter run. This time we will choose Windows. We choose one. It should launch a window which should be showing the same demo that we checked on Chrome. Now in case of window, you can see that it created its own Windows application, and now you can run the demo the same way, right? So we have seen the target, which is specific to Chrome for web. We also checked Windows application. Now we can import this particular project within Visual Studio Code. So file, open folder, then go to the target directory, select folder, and let it load. Now here you see currently only one device is connected. If you have Android Studio, it should be open so that it can detect virtual device manager. Now if you want to run the same project for your Android's virtual device, you can click on this device connected toolbar option and click on that. Then it should open command palette option where you can check start pixel 5 API 32, and that should call for that particular virtual device. And as you can see, your Flutter demo is ready within your Android virtual device that you have set up and connected to Visual Studio Code.